Hey guys, Muzzy here. And I know everyone loves stock reviews and to hear about the hippest and fastest ways to make money. But even if it's unpopular, I'm going to tell you guys things you need to avoid as an investor so that you don't lose big. This channel is going to offer you value as an investor and give you practical advice and words of warning rather than just chase the popular topics that get more views. And real quickly, if a no-nonsense, conservative, and experienced investor is who you're looking for to get some advice from, then please consider liking or subscribing for more content. It helps out the channel immensely. The first mistake that a lot of people make is holding on to too much cash. Don't get me wrong, I advise people to be at least 10 to 30% cash heavy at all times. But a lot of people get into a cycle where they feel like holding cash is the best way to play things safe. And that's where they just put a crazy amount of money in the bank. During this time, they are possibly missing out on many market gains, and they're definitely missing out on dividend payments. Time in the market always beats timing the market, and the best way to invest is to at least get started. Otherwise, inflation is just going to burn a big stinky hole in your wallet. Another easy mistake that many new investors make is failing to diversify their portfolio. I made this mistake when I first started investing, and I told myself that you only needed diversification if you weren't smart enough to pick a good investment. And while that's somewhat true, and it feels great to pick a stock when it's up big, everybody's a genius in a bull market. And if you happen to invest your entire portfolio in a stock that happens to lose big, you won't feel so smart. The second mistake many investors make is not having an emergency fund in place before they start investing. Trust me, I understand why this is such an easy trap to fall into. You see other investors making a killing and you just want to jump right in. But if you have some kind of emergency come up and you have to sell your stocks when the market is down at a loss, this really sucks. I'm giving you guys this warning so that you can avoid losing money in the long run, because if you don't have a solid plan for an emergency, you definitely will. Another thing to avoid is trading on margin. Trust me, this can be extremely tempting as well, especially if there's a huge dip in the market and you feel like trading margin will help you get back up to where you need to be. The truth is, though, that most famous investors and several of my role models, including Dave Ramsey, Warren Buffett, and Jeremy from Financial Education, advise against margin trading, and many successful traders have some nightmare stories about when they caught up in margin. Borrowing money to invest is risky, and as Warren Buffett says, if you're a good investor, you won't need margin. And the crazy thing is, this practice of trading in debt is more accessible than ever, but it's never a good long-term investing strategy. The last mistake I'm going to cover on this channel is one I see a lot of older people make regarding investing, and that is relying on the government programs or pension funds to assist you in the future. If you make your investing decisions surrounding this, I would advise you to reconsider your strategy. I really don't feel that Social Security is a reliable program, and I wouldn't bet on it being around for the next few decades in order for me to retire. And even company pensions aren't all that reliable and are subject to extreme fluctuations. If you don't have a solid retirement plan without these things, then imagine what would happen to you if all of a sudden they didn't exist. You'd either have to start working again at like the age of 70 or get assistance from friends and family for the rest of your life just to make it. I'd rather get my money working for me early on than to have to rely on something that may or may not be a dependable source of income in the future. These were just a few of the things I wanted to touch on today. I'm always going to try and advise those on my platform to remain cautious and intentional with their money. The last thing I want you to do is lose big. So although this video may not be as interesting as some of my other ones, I put it out because I care about my audience. Thanks for checking in today, and if you enjoy this kind of video or other stock market related content, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps out the channel immensely.